Hey people, it's 1st of December. I gotta get rid of November. Print up December. December 1st. 2023 is almost over. Cheers. Bill, thank you already for the pears copy that you are sending me for Christmas. Thank you. And who knows why? I made the copy exactly the same way as I did yesterday. Today it's not quite as might just need maybe a little bit more sweetener. Overall, it's good. People, thank you for I'll be sending those off. I'll wait. It's Bandcamp Friday and I'd love to make at least $100 today. I'm just going to be real upfront about it. Do I need money? Yeah. And thank you. Someone bought a Dereck number 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 left of the Dereck 2. And the fella in England who bought Interlude and The World is Burning. The World is Burning. I forwarded that to the label in Pittsburgh. So you'll be receiving 2 packages, one from me and one from Pittsburgh. Thank you very, very, very much. Cheers, everyone. I was floated an idea about piggybacking something onto my sales, and I don't like the idea. So I'm passing on it. And perhaps that's a sign of success that I'm getting emails and messages about wanting to work or inquiring about my label and stuff, and it's like I'm proceeding as I wish to, and that's how I'm gonna do my thing. So I need to mention that the RAF, I'm always showing the album, but it's on CD. We've had professional CDs printed up of this. So the RAF, and I'll leave the link. It's a separate link from my Bandcamp, but it's a RAF Bandcamp. Grab it. So the new Peter Gabriel album is out today, and I was flabbergasted. I like that word. I called my store Homers yesterday to check. Okay, the new Peter Gabriel is coming out tomorrow. There's 2 different versions. Are you guys getting it both? Come to find out they only ordered 2 copies of his new album. Omaha is that slow? And I mean, I let him have it. What? You guys only ordered 2 copies? Will you please hold one for me? That's just for my personal sensibilities. That really sucks. That's how lame Omaha is to me. Now I'm gonna say it like that. Y'all can't even get with Peter Gabriel in 2023 still? Shit. They had to bump up their country section. Yeah, I got an attitude about this modern country bullshit. So let me be quiet and show you I got a special order in yesterday from Homers. And I have a few records here to talk about. I really, generally speaking, just like to buy it on the shelf. But when I saw that this was a pre-order and knowing how her records go, I said, well, I want this, darn it. It wasn't cheap. So I would love to get some sales today to cover my ass for these expensive ass records. But Kate Bush's Ariel was just reissued. When this came out originally in 2009, and I got it right away on CD. Unlike Hounds of Blood, which I just fell in love with immediately, this was a slow burner. strikes me as a very, very personal album for her. Like the main thing going on here is her love of her son, and I love it. It's I see a parallel between her and Peter Gabriel, the way they make their music. It's they follow their muse. They're not here trying to please anybody's damn fan dreams. This is a gorgeous pressing, absolutely top of the line quality, as you can see with the cover there, that printing. Oh, I just love it. Big fat ass book, heavy, and the picture here, which I love how they put it. It looks like a landscape, but when you really look at it, what it is it's the sound wave of the bird calls that you're hearing on the album. I think that's brilliant, a brilliant move to do that. The lead single off this album, when it came out, King of the Mountain, I really like that. And yeah, the album, some people have complained, over the years that they think that the album is not up to snuff. And I just disagree. I think I gather what this album is about. This is a love expression to her son, Bertie. And we are privileged to get to hear it. I went for the limited edition color vinyl because I'm loving it. And what a color. Look at this color. And it's a beautiful, beautiful plate. Slightly marbled. What are they calling it? They're calling it solid gold, solid orange. And they put it like that because of the way that it goes. All the records don't come out the same. Some will be a little more gold, some a little more orange. I played this all the way through. It's a fantastic pressing, super quiet. And there's something about, even though CDs, compact discs, give you that pristine, totally quiet experience of the music, it's not the same as dropping the needle on the record. And so I kind of knew this would be the case. I've had this album since it came out on CD. It's out in the other room. But dropping the needle, it's like it came alive in a way that it didn't before. This is really good. And these obies, it's like, this is the latest thing with it's almost like fetishism with records. That's fine. That America is copying the obi, the Japanese obi now, with new releases. Spiffs them up. It does. It makes them look cool, doesn't it? When I was first getting Japanese imports back in the 80s, I would throw the obies away. I didn't, because in Japan they are useless. They're, it's just advertising. And then I started to keep them over time. So while I was down there, I picked up 2 used records, both super cheap. This one was under $10. I used to have this album, Trace, Pierre van der Linden, another one of those European or keyboard bands like Triumvirate, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, all of that. And when I grabbed it yesterday, it's like, I remember I used to have it, never really played it a lot, but it's like, okay, this does fit in the collection. I'll bring it back in. Played it yesterday, it's like, oh shit, this is better than I remembered. I like this better than Triumvirate, and I have their albums, I hang on to them, but I very seldom play them. Once again, someone from Canada Homer's has bought a Canadian collection or two, because I've been picking up and noticing some of these records that are of interest to me are Canadian pressings, like this one. Okay, the other used record I got, mainly for nostalgia's sake and for a laugh. I thought to myself, I don't need this, but that's not the point. Let me have fun with collecting. So I bought this David Peel and the Lower East Side's Have a Marijuana. This is so dated, and so some of the lyrics on here are really cringeworthy, misogynistic, and like, boy, this would be an example of hippies that need to be made fun of. You know what I'm saying? Beside, I do my bawling in the bathroom. And that's exactly what it's talking about. And if I were a woman, I'd have been very, very insulted by that song. But it's the other stuff where the humor comes through. Is like the song "Show Me the Way to Get Stoned." And this is fun because this is like an early pressing. This came out, I think, in 1968. And this is a Red Label 69 pressing. The first edition would be on the brown label. But it also has the insert. It has the original insert. So this was fun. This was fun to grab. Someone yesterday asked me about my favorite hip-hop album. Do I have to have one? Let me ask that question. Is that expected of me? What if I don't have a favorite hip-hop album? Is that a problem for someone? Yesterday was Richard Barbieri's birthday. I've inquired with him if he would like to come on again. I haven't heard back from him. Not too surprised. I think that man is probably much more busy behind the scenes than he lets on. So, listen to this yesterday all the way through. Variants number 3 and 4. And I just love those graphics, and they're perfect for the music. They perfectly fit the ambience here. This is the one where several years ago, Richard Barbieri blew my mind when I saw that he had bought digital copies of some of my music on Bandcamp. I was blown away. We were friends on Facebook, but that's really neither here nor there. With some people, you're friends, but you don't communicate. But when I saw he bought my music, that was like, wow. So I reached out to him, and he did respond back that he thought my music was pretty cool. I detect a parallel on a couple things here where it's like, that kind of sounds like what I do. Not taking credit for it, just saying, could be. Happy birthday, Richard Barbieri. Cool ass dude. Cool dude. What else is sitting out here? Well, I did play the Double Fantasy. I told you folks I just bought this. My first impression was, kind of dismissive. Yeah, this is nice. You just have to kind of let it do its thing. It bubbles along. See, because I can make music like this. I know how to make, specifically, I know how to do this. And so sometimes I'll be in that mindset was like, well, I'd rather listen to me, but that was nice. Looking forward to the new Peter Gabriel, even though I've heard it all already and it's not groundbreaking. And Peter Gabriel is another example of someone who he does things by his own design. Makes the record, we've been waiting 20 years, if you want to put it that way. I've been, I see online where I posted this record and posted looking forward to the new Peter Gabriel tomorrow. This is Peter Gabriel's Growing Up Live album, 3 LP set, really good. And there's the typical grousing where there's some people saying, well, I just don't know if I'm into it now after all this time. It's okay. Artists don't live, this is my opinion. People who are really into what they do, don't do it for the fans. They don't do it for us. We're a second consideration. The art comes first. The doing comes first. That mentality is what I'm into. Okay? It's not about trying to be the most popular, get the most likes, get the most hits. All of that really surface crap, I pay attention to, but that's not what I'm doing this for. So I respect Mr. Slow Hand Peter Gabriel taking his sweet ass time. If I can get both versions of the new album, will I get them? Yeah. So folks, please, Christmas presents, and one person did leave in the note of their purchase that they are indeed buying it with the purpose of giving it as a gift. This one, well, I got Life After X, and I've shown you the Woven Territories, my other new release from this year. Okay, there's plenty of other folks out there who are trying to be heard and sell music besides me, so please give them some love. Okay, message from Blur. It's probably some advertising, but I get messages like that now from other artists agencies and stuff. I'm not worth really any money, but I've been doing this for so long that it seems to be, the imprint of what I do seems to be catching on or making inroads, because like I said, I'm getting a fair regular amount of inquiry, and most of it I'm saying no to it, mostly. Last thing I'll share is, I got a call from my brother yesterday, my older brother. It was really nice. He usually when he calls, it's bad. Yesterday was good, and that I'm so glad he's safe. He's in a home, and it's better than the one it was before. He told me that, but he called to ask about music. He said he was there watching TV with some of the other residents, and they were watching some kind of punk rock documentary. And he asked me, did I know anything about a band called Agnostic Front? I had a story for him. I had a couple of stories for him. I love it. I know I've told the story, but I'll tell it again. Try to tell it as straight as I can. Back in the 80s, I saw GBH with Agnostic Front, and I forget who else, down in Lincoln, Nebraska. I love hanging out. I love the music. So I was, hanging out with the kids, meeting Colin of GBH, and then Jock comes along from the band, and I want to meet him. And he was very rude and racist, and just called me the N-word to my face, and Colin was kind of chided him and said, hey man, that ain't how we are. And Vinny from Agnostic Front was nearby, or just caught wind of this. Next thing you know, he's with me. I'm not making this up. In so many words, he told Jock, hey, that's some uncool shit, man. If you fuck with this dude, you're fucking with us. So I shared that with my brother. He loved that. Then he also ended up mentioning how Farley, and they said, oh, Cro-Mags, New York. So I had a Cro-Mag story for him. Not Harley, but the John version of Cro-Mags. And I said, are they talking about that? Did they mention that in the... Yeah. I said, yeah, so I played with the John version of Cro-Mags. And John was... It's almost like... I love it when people just somehow they pick up on me. He was very kind and wanted to just hang out with me. I got pictures of us. So it's like he looks like a little kid next to me. Like he's like wow. So I shared that with my brother James and some other stuff. That really did my heart a lot of good to hear him be in a good enough place that he could call and just chit chat about music, that he's safe. and that his needs are being met and he's okay. That did my heart a lot of good, y'all. So, without running it into the ground, please pick up my music, and for no other reason but for Christmas presents or whatever you want to call it. I've sold a few, but let me sell some more, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Have a good weekend.